book began that day. Attention blindness is the fundamental structuring principle of the brain, and I believe that it presents us with a tremendous opportunity. My take is different from that of many neuroscientists, where they perceive the shortcomings of the individual. I sense opportunity for collaboration. If we see selectively, but we don't all select the same things to see, that also means we don't all miss the same things. If some of us can accurately count basketballs in a confusing situation, and some can see the gorilla, we can pool our insights and together see the whole picture. That's significant. The gorilla experiment isn't just a lesson in brain biology, but a plan for thriving in a complicated world. Without focus, the world is chaos. There's simply too much to see, hear, and understand. And focus lets us drill down to the input we believe is most useful to us. Because focus means selection, though, it leaves us with blind spots, and we need methods for working around them. Fortunately, given the interactive nature of most of our lives in the digital age, we have the tools to harness our different forms of attention and take advantage of them. But there's an important first step, and if we pass over it, we'll never be able to capitalize on the benefits of our interactive world. It's not easy to acknowledge that everything we've learned about how to pay attention means that we've been missing everything else, including the gorilla. It's not easy for us rational, competent, confident types to admit that the very key to our success, our ability to pinpoint a problem and solve it, an achievement honed in all those years in school and beyond, may be exactly what limits us. For over 100 years, we've been training people to see in a particularly individual, deliberative way. No one ever told us that our way of seeing excluded everything else. It's hard for us to believe we're not seeing all there is to see. But here's the kicker. Unless we're willing to take attention blindness personally, we're going to either flub the basketball count or miss the gorilla every single time. We can't even develop a method for solving the dilemma until we admit there's a gorilla in the room and we're too preoccupied counting basketballs to see it. A great cognitive experiment is like a fantastic magic trick performed by an exceptionally skilled magician. It makes us see things about ourselves that we don't normally see and helps us to believe what might otherwise be impossible to accept about the world we live in. An experiment allows us to see the imperfect and idiosyncratic way our own brain works. That's a key difference between magic tricks and scientific experiments. Scientists don't contrive experiments to trick, surprise, embarrass, or entertain us. They devise experiments so they can learn more about what makes humans tick. When they were just starting their careers, the young Harvard psychologists Christopher Chabris and Daniel Simons first performed the now famous gorilla experiment, or what they've come to call the invisible gorilla. It was 1999, and they were determined to come up with a convincing way to illustrate the cognitive principle of selective attention that had been identified way back in the 1970s, but that people simply refused to believe. A colleague down the hall was doing a study on fear and happened to have a gorilla suit handy. The rest is history. Under normal testing conditions, over half of the participants miss the gorilla. Add peer pressure and that figure goes way up. In a live reenactment of this experiment performed in London, with 400 very social college students packed into an auditorium, only 10% noticed the gorilla stride across the stage. We didn't keep an exact count at our event, but our numbers must have rivaled those of the college kids in London. In our case, the most likely reason so few saw the gorilla was that academics like to do well on tests. And that's the annoying lesson of attention blindness. The more you concentrate, the more other things you miss. In one amusing experiment you can view on YouTube, a man and a woman perform a familiar card trick. While the man fans a deck of cards out before her, the woman selects a card at random from a deck, shows it to the viewing audience, and slips it back into the pack. And as it is to be expected, the man then magically pulls the right card out of the deck.